Hello class. Today, in this video, we will be talking about the quadratic formula, which is x equals negative b, the opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So what does this quadratic formula tell us? Well, it tells us the x values that intersect with the x-axis, or are zeros, when y equals 0. Okay, we should note also that zeros are the same thing as x-intercepts. Okay, where does this quadratic formula come from? Well, we can derive it. Let's say we're given a quadratic function of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And then we want to solve for our x values. So we can move the c to the other side. Then we can factor out an a from both terms. You'll see this term doesn't actually have an a in it. So we do here, so we divide by a. So then if we redistributed this a, these a's would cancel out. Okay. Then we can divide by a on both sides of our equation. So the next step is a process called completing the square. So let's look at this a little more carefully. Okay, so we have x squared plus b over a x plus, now we're going to add something here, and we're also going to add something here. What we do to one side of the equation, we must do to the other, so it's balanced. Okay, so what are we going to add? Well, ultimately, we want to put this side of the equation in a form like so that we can then take the square root of this, and then to get rid of the x squared term and isolate x. So we use the fact that something plus another term equals s squared plus 2st plus t squared. So we're going to add this t squared term. And what this t term is going to be is it's going to be a constant formed from the real numbers of b and a. But what should it be exactly? Well, I'll tell you what it's going to be, and I'll explain why. It's going to be x plus b over 2a squared. Okay, the reason why is because we have a 2 here, so this middle term is going to be twice our t value. So here, twice our t value would be b over a. So our t value needs to be half of this b over a, b over 2a. Okay, and then you'll see over here, the t squared, that's going to be b over 2a squared. So we get b squared over 4a squared. And get the same thing on this side. Okay, so let's rewrite this one more time. So we have x squared plus b over a x plus b squared over 4a squared equals negative c over 2a plus b squared over 4a squared. Okay, and then this right here, that becomes x plus b over 2a squared equals, okay, and we can also make this as a fraction with one numerator and one denominator. Okay, so we'll take a common denominator, and the common denominator here, well, first of all, I should say that this 2, that's incorrect. So it was really negative c over a. Okay, so you'll notice that 4a squared is just a multiple of a. So to get a common denominator here, we would multiply a by 4a. And our common denominator is 4a squared, so we don't have to do anything to this term. So I'll rewrite things a little bit to make it into a familiar form. Negative 4ac, and I multiplied this side by 4a, and then I didn't have to do anything to this side, and then you get 4a squared is your common denominator. And then you take a square root of both sides. Okay, so when we have a variable squared, and then we take a square root of that, we actually get the absolute value of x plus b over 2a equals, so here, this will stay the square root of b squared minus 4ac. This denominator, we take the square root of it, we get 2a. Okay, so we're almost done. What ends up happening when we take away this absolute value is that we'll get a plus or a minus on the other side. So we have x plus b over a equals plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And finally, we just need to subtract b over a from both sides. So we get x by itself. And that was a 2a, I forget. And there's our quadratic formula. And we have derived it.